Hey, what's up, you ILUS Army and Moneymakers? Welcome back to the channel. I have some exciting news about ILUS to share with you. They shared the newsletter just before an hour, shareholder newsletter, and I wanted to quickly go through it. As you can see, this is 12th of January, just before an hour right after market closed. They are addressing their shareholders, and this is a pretty meaty newsletter with a lot of content. What I'm going to do is I'm going to give you a highlight within next few minutes that you can learn a ton more about what they are up to. There is some interesting update. They have divided themselves into 4 different buckets that I want to share with you. The first one is the communication. They want to focus on how they communicate to the shareholder, and I'll share more updates with you as to what they're talking about. The second one is the acquisition updates. As you already know, it's a merger and acquisition company. It's a holding company, and they're moving aggressively. They did not really have any presence in the United States, and right now they have a strong presence in starting of 2022, and they're moving aggressively, doing further due diligence on a couple of other deals as well. We'll talk about product update. Interestingly enough, they're talking about getting into Metaverse, which is going to be super exciting. I can't really tell you how much excited I am about this Metaverse thing that they're talking about. The next one is they're also calling out the 40 million shares that they have spoken previously for, that they won this case already, and they are going to get canceled, those 40 million shares. And lastly, some of the spin out and intended spin out plans and proposed structure with some of the positive meeting and some of the hints that you really want to focus on. By the way, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and help me out. Your like is really appreciated because it helps the channel and it helps this video to be reached to more and more people. So don't forget, be sure to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. It doesn't really cost you anything, and it's a tremendous help for the channel. If you want to help support, you can join, click on the join below, and you can also support that way, or you can join the Patreon. It's just $4.99 a year, and it's a tremendous help. I thank you for all your help and support throughout. Now let's talk about what we did in terms of the stock price. We're up 7% when NASDAQ and Dow Jones were trying to find out where to go, and there was some speculation around ILUS could hit 18 cents. None of that happened. Take a look. Yes, obviously it was not a great week. So did the mark for the entire market. So ILUS was not an exception, or it was not just the stock that went down. But yes, from 30 cents, we saw 22 cents. And precisely, I called out that this is 10x play. This can 2x, 3x pretty quickly. And take a look. We're 10%, almost 10% up at the moment. For last 5 days, we are down 17%, but from the bottom, I was saying we're 10% already up. Take a look for the last 1 month, it's 37% down with massive potential that is coming up. You also want to remind yourself that there are several important milestones. Take a look, they're going to share and complete 4 big pieces of news within next week or 2 that is going to add fuel. If the market is in the positive direction, it's going to definitely help ILUS 100%. Let's take a look what they are talking about in this particular newsletter. So the first one is communication. They are making sure that we are in the process of transitioning from a small OTC company to something much greater, and throughout our journey, shareholder engagement and transparency has always been extremely important to us, and I 100% agree with them. This is kind of an OTC play that this is one of a unique OTC play into the market that I have not seen for many companies, that they start with $500,000 in revenue and jumped up all the way to 6.5 million just that trading year, or just that year, its fiscal year itself. And they have been doing tremendously well. They're ambitious. They want to become a $100 million revenue company. They want to get listed on NASDAQ, so on and so forth. So you want to be really looking for what they are up to. They're also talking further about their patience is the key. They have additional transactions and acquisitions into play, and they want to announce some of the stuff on their Twitter handle that they're going to do within next couple of weeks, as we already talked about, which is going to be super impressive. The third thing is the acquisition update. As you already know, ILUS was pretty aggressive in 2021, and there are no signs of them stopping, and they are doing more and more due diligence on their additional upcoming acquisitions. As communicated communicated with our recent press release and updates, we were 3 imminent US acquisitions. One of them that they completed just before Christmas, we already know, that's Bullhead Product, and we are in process of completing next 2 in Texas and Georgia respectively. Now remember, in 2021 they did not really have any presence in the United States. Right now they have 3 companies that they have acquired already, strong presence in United States. They're also working on their astronomical European deal, and they are doing their due diligence on their Asian acquisition that can bring them $30 million annual revenue. The final agreement with the seller's attorney, and there is nothing more than that they can do at this point to speed them up. They're not going to take the shortcuts, and as they are saying, they want to do the right thing for them and for also their shareholder. The third thing that they're talking about, which is super exciting, that is the product update. Now why I'm excited, let's take a look. We are progressing strongly with our growth of our virtual reality fire safety trading division that is currently sitting under BCD Fire. Behind the scene, we have been working on the final stages of completing very exciting acquisition of a virtual reality fire safety software company. So they are getting into the VR game, which will give them their own VR fire training software with a development team and training facility. This will make us the first fire safety training company to operate in the Metaverse. Now this is super exciting because what they can do is they can gauge the security aspects into the Metaverse, and they can innovate, automate some of this process, and that can be really a game changer. As we have already talked about that they're aggressively growing into the European market, what they want to do is within the United States, they want to change the game, the way we take care of fire in the fire department, and they want to implement their innovation and automation across the United States. So this is why this is going to be game changing. For US customers, the vehicles that they're working on right now will be assembled by Bullhead Products in Tennessee. Regarding the commercial electric utility vehicles, their lead design engineer and their team have designed the range of vehicles that will be manufactured at the new facility in the southeastern European region. That E-Raptor 6x6 vehicle, they have received that already, and they are fulfilling the current orders with the original version, and they will begin transitioning the new version that they expect that should start rolling off in production in Europe towards the end of Q1. So that is super exciting that you want to keep in mind. Now next thing that they're talking about in regards to the share structure that has not been yet updated at the transfer agent. This is because some of the shares have not been canceled yet. By default, we did win the case for the cancellation of 40 million shares that we have spoken about previously, and this is very positive. They have been doing some movements in terms of in and out, as we have said before, that will only update share structure once everything is completed, which makes sense. We did review the possibility of completing partial update. However, from the current viewpoint with the bigger picture, the potential spin out and potential shareholder dividend lookup plan is related aspect around this, so they're waiting for the share structure that they want to revise. Now that also gives us some of the hint around the potential spin out, so keep this in mind as well, and we'll see how the spin out is going to work out and how this will impact the price point for ILUS that we are seeing right now at 24 to 25 cents. I'll keep you posted on that. You also want to note that what they're talking about finally regarding our processed and proposed intended spin-out plan. Several positive meetings have been held recently, and we are certainly progressing well. We are hoping to announce the investment bank that we will be working with for the spin-out very soon. Further details regarding the intended spin-out plans will be discussed at the shareholder meeting. Now they are holding this shareholder meeting within the next few weeks. Now what they're also talking about is it's going to be pretty difficult to hold this shareholder meeting due to the pandemic that is going on, and they have planned to sign relevant details and providing in-person as well as online shareholder meeting during this particular meeting, so just keep an eye out for that. Although will be still quite a few announcements between now and the shareholder meeting. I look forward to the meeting for all of you in person at the meeting and the shareholder detail that they're going to share. And this is their executive JP Backwell just shared this newsletter that you want to really keep an eye out. Now, one thing that you also want to remember is they have been moving pretty aggressively with a standard goal or specific goal that they have in mind. Take a look. They want to do acquisition. They want to finish the European deal, which is an astronomical European deal that they have been talking about. That is going to add $8 million worth of revenue, if I'm not mistaken, in 2022. They also want to get listed on NASDAQ or NYSE that they have been talking about multiple times. You also want to remember that they have some astronomical, even bigger deals that they are doing their due diligence in the Asian region that is going to bring them a ton more revenue. Take a look right here. ILUS has begun the due diligence on a potential Asian acquisition with annual revenue exceeding $30 million. Now, if that happens, that is going to be super amazing for ILUS. If you take a look right now how we did today, the volume was 12 million when the price was very close to 25 cents or 24.5 cents, with the average volume with respect to the average volume of 12.3 million, which is in my opinion pretty healthy volume. Now, if you take a look, when we were at 28.29 cents, we were below 10 million in terms of the volume, 8.5, 6.6, 6.2, 7 million, 7.3, so on and so forth. But as we went below 28.26 cents, we saw the spike into the volume, 13 million, 22 million. Yesterday, day before yesterday, we were 11 million. And yesterday we were 11th of January, we were 13.6 million. And today we did 12 million. So in my opinion, the volume is pretty healthy as well. We talked precisely about ILUS being a pretty good investment when we were at 22 cents. Take a look right now, we're at 24, 25 cents that we got back up 10 to 12%. Depends at what price point someone has bought it. But that there's a pretty massive potential from 22 cents. We also saw 26, 27 cents. So what I'm trying to say is this is going to be 2x, 3x play just in 2022 in upcoming few more months, and maybe it will be 10x in before the end of 2022, depends upon their plan and uplisting on NASDAQ. If you take a look at this particular chart, you should be able to see that we have seen some peaks and some valleys, but overall we saw pretty healthy volume with the RSI of 65. It is more or less not overbought or oversold condition. Their MACD looks pretty good as well. The blue line looks MACD and the orange is the signal. If you take a look once again at the 5-day chart, you should be able to see the drop into the price point. If I can click right here, it does seem like I'm not able to click, but all in all, what I wanted to say, I wanted to quickly show you, yes, right here, how we dropped. So we were sustaining around 30 cents. With the market turbulence, we started getting down. We got into the red zone, and take a look, the moving average also dropped. With the dropping moving average, what we have seen so far, last one day, let me just go back if I can click once again. But basically what I'm trying to say is the moving average started going up. Let's take a look for last 5 days. So here was our bottom, and then we started seeing the stock price moving average going upwards, and right now we are trying to consolidate. But in my opinion, we'll go back to this price point once again, back up, which we saw in the past, and this is how we dropped, and this is how we will get back up if the market sustains, if the market remains green. I just wanted to share this information with you, hoping you can make informed financial decision. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. I'll see you in the next video.